आउँदाखेरि त मैले फाइलै बोकेर आएको थिएँ अलिकति लामै बोलौँ लामै अपिल गरौँ भनेर त मभन्दा अगाडिका सब विज्ञहरूले त्यही कुराहरू मेरो मनमा भएका कुरा ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरले फेस गरिरहेका कुराहरू सब उठाइसकेका हुनाले म यो अलिक छोटकरीमै गरौँला तर त्यही पनि मैले सिडिपिङको तर्फबाट एउटा आधिकारिक रूपमा पनि यही बोल्नै पर्यो। त्यस कारण चाहिँ नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्कका श्री गुरु सर सृजनका प्रेसिडेन्ट भगत भट्टराईजी, प्रेसिडेन्ट अफ एनबिए संतोष कैरालाजी, मिस्टर अनल राज भट्टराईजी, distinguished officials and esteemed panelists, मलाई अहिले बोल्दाखेरि मेरो रिमार्क्स भन्दा पनि भोट अफ थ्याङ्क्स जस्तो लागिरहेको छ किनभने तपाईँहरू सबैले यस्तो राम्रो बोलिदिनु भयो कि मेरो त के बोलौँ भन्ने जस्तो मलाई के लागिरहेको थियो। तर आज हामीहरूको अफिसिएटिङ गभर्नरजी र हाम्रो गुरु सरजी आज उपस्थित भइदिनु भएकोमा मलाई त के लाग्यो भने मौतिङ नीति आउन लागेको बेला तपाईँहरूको प्रेजेन्सले त हामीलाई आशावादी बनाइदिएछ। आई एम भेरी होपफुल एन्ड आई एम कन्फिडेन्ट that you will do something and your presence here is a commitment that you will do something. किनभने नेपालका ब्याङ्कहरूले पनि भुइँचालोको टाइममा होस्, पेन्डेमिकको टाइममा होस्, इकोनोमिक डाउनटर्न्समा देशलाई साथै दियो हामीले। अझ पनि हामी के भन्छौँ भने देशलाई साथै दिन्छौँ। 7% को जुन अप्टिमिस्टिक इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ बनाएको छ त्यसको लागि हामी पहल पनि गर्छौँ र यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीलाई राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क आवर रेगुलेटर आवर गार्जियनले साथ पनि दिनु पर्यो। किनभने अनेस्टली खास कुरा गर्यो भने द ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टर इज इन कन्सिडरेबल प्रेसर। On paper we have ample liquidity, but in reality credit demand is stagnant because business confidence is low. Cash flows have dried up across multiple sectors, weakening the repayment capacity of even fundamentally strong and sound businesses. This has triggered a highly concerning chain reaction that is hitting our balance sheet where it hurts most. As a result, banks are forced to accumulate non-banking assets to the tune of over 60 billion rupees. By taking over land and collateral because most borrowers simply cannot pay. Because so much of our capital is now locked up in these illiquid, non-earning assets, our car is being severely squeezed. We are increasingly constrained even though we want to lend and support the economy. Our capital structures are hitting a regulatory ceiling. Therefore, as we navigate during this difficult cycle, we respectfully urge Nepal Rashtra Bank to introduce practically risk-based flexibility regarding loan classification, provisioning norms, and the regulatory treatment of NBAs. We look at our neighbors across South Asia who have more liberal provisioning periods or even allowing netting off of collaterals. Besides, during times of severe economic stress, these regulators have stepped in with calibrated, time-bound measures to give the system a breathing space. We are not asking for blanket leniency that compromises financial transparency, but for time-bound, risk-based, and internationally aligned regulatory flexibility that would support both financial stability and economic recovery. We need policies that encourage the restructuring of viable accounts, alleviate the immediate card pressure caused by rising NPAs, We need our central bank to give us the confidence and the legal room to support our clients through this storm, rather than forcing us into aggressive provisioning that freezes our lending capacity. Flexibility is not enemy of prudence. In fact, right now, measured flexibility is the only way to preserve asset quality over the medium term. It gives us viable businesses the time to recover. It allows borrowers to regain their footing, and it unlocks the bank's capital needed to finance productive sectors. Guru sir, the banking industry has consistently responded to every major regulatory reform introduced by Nepal Rashtra Bank. When the minimum paid-off capital was increased from 2 billion to 8 billion, a fourfold increase, the banking sector rose to the challenge. Banks mobilized significant capital, undertook mergers, acquisitions, integrated system and cultures, strengthened governance, and observed substantial financial operational costs. These reforms have undoubtedly resulted in a stronger and a more resilient banking system. However, they also require shareholders and banks to make enormous sacrifices. Capital was raised at considerable cost, returns on equity came under pressure, merger integration demanded significant investment, and management attention was diverted from business growth to institutional restructuring. We therefore request that the upcoming monetary policy recognizes these realities and provide targeted, regulatory, flexible, enabling banks to support businesses, investment, and employment, and ensure financial stability and contribute to meaningful government's growth agenda. A resilient banking system is the absolute bedrock of employment, investment, and sustainable growth in Nepal. Respected sir, we have immense faith in your leadership. We are confident that under your guidance, Nepal Rashtra Bank will strike that perfect, delicate balance between maintaining financial stability and actively fueling economic recovery. We hope for a policy framework that empowers banks to be active engines of development, national development, rather than passive observer constrained by rigid metrics. I would not like to wait for Rashtra Bank to come with measures when we are terminal. I think it's the right time when we are beginning to show signs of sickness that the right dose of medicine be provided. On behalf of the entire banking community, I want to thank you for your time, your openness for this dialogue, and your enduring dedication to Nepal's financial sector. We look forward to seeing bold, supportive measures in the upcoming monetary policy. Thank you all, and Sejal for hosting this important annual program.